Upright, upright, and fancy, fancy. Upright, upright, and fancy. Upright, upright, and fancy, fancy. Upright, upright, and fancy. With
Kara.
and Chris. Ooh. Welcome to Upright and Fancy, our very first episode.
Very first.
Where we talk about things that make us happy to be upright.
And things that make us feel fancy.
Things that make us feel fancy.
Also, it's so funny we're both from Alabama.
We're both from Alabama is something that I don't know that I think I forget that every time. I do.
Well, Alabama is somewhat forgettable. Don't tell Alabama.
Don't tell Alabama.
We both moved so far away from Alabama. We're all the way in Nashville, Tennessee.
Alabama literally is like rude.
I mean, Alabama is rude, so I don't.
Alabama's rude. I have to say that my last times that I've been in Birmingham, I've been very happy about it. I honestly, like, it is growing. And Birmingham, not to be political, but Birmingham is turning a little bit into a blue dot and a sea of red.
A bit.
We'll see. I mean, not to give away what part I believe that I should be a part of, but it's blue and a sea of red. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's also
ish. It's probably not even blue. It's pink.
Purple.
Ish. Purple. It was pink when I lived there. That's for sure.
Oh, so the part of Alabama that I have come from has actually overtaken Birmingham as the most populous area in Alabama.
Mobile. No.
Montgomery. You don't even know where my mama stay.
Yeah, no,
you don't even know where my mama stay.
You've told me many times.
The Huntsville.
That's right.
Area.
So wait, Huntsville's overtaken Birmingham?
It is now the most populated city in Alabama.
Okay,
and it is a bit purple because of all the technology and things. You also have like Redstone Arsenal and the military, and so there's a lot of, it's Alabama.
It's mixed colors.
Yeah. And but in general, I mean, Alabama is just disappointing, but it has some charm. And I feel like, I also am disappointing and have some charm. So, I didn't totally grow up there. My dad was in the military. I was born in Panama, the country. Although everyone in Alabama would always say, Panama City?
PCB!
Yeah, PCB!
PCB!
No, and I was like, you Philistines. It's Panama, the country.
I don't know that I knew that. I've been to Panama, the country now, quite a few times because I've cruised through the Panama Canal many times, but also I joined a ship in...
Wait.
No, I can't remember exactly. It was in Panama. Cologne? Is that it?
Cologne's in Germany, but it might be in Panama.
Different
I was born in Ancon, Panama, and it was during the a lot of the Iran-Contra stuff. We didn't have like a real base because we weren't really supposed to be there. So many things in America we're not supposed to be there.
That has never stopped America before.
No.
Yeah.
And I was a little redheaded baby born in Panama, and I am told I don't remember it, but I was a 10-pound giant baby with red hair that was about this long. It looked like I was like 3 to 6 months.
Oh
not
my God.
newborn. And apparently...
That is hilarious.
Yeah, and it was a Panamanian hospital, not a military hospital. And apparently people lined up to see this giant red-headed baby.
Oh my
yeah.
God. And you were like, I am upright and I'm fancy.
I wasn't upright yet.
Yeah.
I was
my hair is upright and I am fancy.
And I was fancy until I went outside and then I got sunburned immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And so
That's a thing.
Yeah. It's right on the equator. So I was also referred to as lobster baby, which is not so fancy.
That's not cute. No, that's not so fancy.
I mean, I got very sunburned. I'm not supposed to be in Panama, but it was I had a dual citizenship till I was 18.
Panama and America? Mm-hmm. I didn't know
And
this.
yeah, and then
Till
I guess
18?
till I was 18. And then they were like, you gotta choose. And I really wanted to just commit a crime and go to Panama.
Yeah.
But I missed that opportunity.
Because it's Panama, what is it called when you don't?
Extradite?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they do, but I just figured it would be fine.
So I've joined a ship in Panama. I think I've flown out. I work on cruise ships, if you do not know. I'm a guest entertainer on cruise ships, and I have joined a cruise ship there, and I've flown out of there before, Panama. But the Panama Canal itself is, I have to say, it's remarkable. And I've done it a bunch of times, and every time, I mean, of course, it gets less and less every time, as it do.
Oh, you throwing shade on the canal?
I mean, that canal, it's boring. Yes, a boring canal.
You're like, I'm birth canal, bored.
Yeah.
Panama Canal, bored.
Bored. Both birth and Panama canals are just boring. I mean, canals are just boring. However, so the Panama Canal is like hours long. Mm-hmm. Which I don't know that I expected. I don't, it's like, I expected it to be cinched, to be where North and South America meet, to be all cinched up and have it just be a little quick.
Yeah.
No, it's not quick. But one, so if you do not know the Panama Canal, it's at different levels. The waters at different levels. So these huge ships have to go in, and then this water is different. So they you're in a little thing, and then they raise the whole ship up. And so out of my little porthole, it'll be like concrete wall, concrete wall, concrete wall, concrete wall, sky. And then the opposite when you get to the other side. But one scary thing, every time that you go through, someone from Panama has joined the ship and is like giving you the history of the Panama Canal and stuff while you're going through. It'll just be over the whole thing, and if you want to pay attention, you can. I don't always, but
You're like bored.
I'm like, what? Whatever.
I thought this was cinched. Why is this like a snatched canal?
This needs to be a snatched canal. Why is this not like a half an hour?
Oh my god.
Anyway, so about
canal rejuvenation.
About halfway through canal rejuvenation. if that were a thing, they could fucking use it. Excuse my language. They could use it.
Panamanian people, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
You guys are amazing.
Your canal is perfect.
Your canal is perfect. Mm-hmm. The tight ones hurt. So.
As if you'd know.
I don't. I just saw this thing with this somebody comforting someone else. It was like, honey, it's okay. The tight ones hurt. I just saw that the other day. It's so gross to me.
I think people are just really caught up in binaries. Tight and loose. Every canal is a canal. And just appreciate it for what it is. There's we've already started the advice. It's just appreciate the canal for what it is.
We are here to help you.
Mm-hmm. In your canal.
In this
or lack thereof.
last canal that I've been through.
Yeah.
There haven't been many. All of which have been to Panama, for the most part. So about halfway through, they start talking about there's a prison. And it's an outdoor mostly. And I mean, it's hot, as you know. It is like brutal hot down there.
An outdoor prison?
I mean, a lot of it's outdoor. Like there's a basketball area and there's whatever, but it's like chain link, scary razor things. And I'm on the Norwegian Breakaway, which is one of their big, huge ones. And so I'm literally 20 stories up on a, not luxury as in like Oceanian Regent, like swanky, oh my God, you have to wear a suit every day. But luxury as in just, it's all paid, I don't know. Anyway, it is, it's a very nice
it's also, no matter what, it's luxury compared to fucking outdoor prison.
Yes, everything is luxury compared to that.
And did you just stand up and be like, hey, boy?
Yeah, I did! with the glittery lips. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
So, when you go by, though, the first time I went by was the main thing. I love that it changes colors. It's kind of jankety. But
I'm trying to get it back to red.
It's hard to do because it's jankety.
I mean, again.
It's jankety. Them jankety lips do.
I just
It's a very nice canal, but very jankety lips.
I just feel like we just need to accept it for what it brings to the table. Maybe it's not perfect, but it feels great.
It's smoochable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Regular lips. smoochable. Anyway, I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
All lips are smoochable.
All lips are smoochable. I just mean for me personally. But anyway, so.
You're not going to go down on me at the end of this? I've got to go. I'm sorry. I thought this was something else.
We are downright and fancy. I'm saying. So anyway, this prison. So we are. So we go through, and it's like all of a sudden everybody's like playing basketball. Everybody's doing this. They're all doing their thing, and all of a sudden they see this ship come by, and so all of them. And I mean, it's brutal hot. Like like, this is maybe summertime that we're going through, so it's like hot.
Yes.
And all these dudes. All these scary looking dudes sit there like on the fence or up on the fence or something and just watch us go by. And I'm like,
ooh.
Like, at first I was like, oh, I'm intrigued. No, oh God. Like, how almost rude is it for a luxury cruise liner holding 5,000 guests go by while you're stuck in some damn thing?
It's kind of disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
Did you have anything you like? Dinner rolls you could throw at him or something, just be like...
I would have to be a World Series pitcher to get a fucking dinner roll over there. Can you have a corn pone and I peg them in their face, like
peg them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
well,
that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Yes. No. So like it was real scary to me, and it's not. I can't ever think of his name. It's not Fidel Castro, but it's somebody like that was in that prison. A big like country leader that was like terrorist country leader, whatever. And he when he died, they were like, okay, he's close to death, go home. So they let him go home for the end of his life. But he spent all of his life in this like 1,000-degree Panama on the Panama Canal, which the Panama Canal, again, this is I know, and I'm talking circles now, but you go in and you go up levels or down levels or whatever, because the level in the canal in the strip, in this uncinched strip here, waist between North and South America, is
wizard sleeve of
it is. But it's like you go for hours in between. And then you do the same thing backwards when you leave. It's really an interesting, and the history behind it, they built a new canal like over to the side, a new little thing for ships to go through, because it's super expensive, because it's like only they only allow certain things. It's very expensive, but they couldn't upgrade the technology from 1909 or whenever they built it. So they did it the exact same way. There's nothing better than how they did it back then, except back then hundreds of people died creating it.
Sure, yeah.
Like they died.
All of it, yeah. Everything, every kind of giant innovation is just, there are just bodies buried beneath it.
Yes.
I mean, like the railroad in America. Everybody just died. And we're just like, oh, what a wonderful thing that these people worked themselves to death so that you can, like, go to the fair. But I think that, it is amazing that the Panama Canal has been such a strange. I love that, like, this is an introductory podcast. Yeah. Are we introducing ourselves?
We have an introduction outline here of what to do here.
Are we talking about what we're doing? No, we're talking about the Panama Canal, which neither of us is an expert in.
No.
Though, the Panama Canal was this weird talking point. It was one of the big things that propelled Reagan to fame, from like movie star to presidential candidate. Is that he just like picked up on this talking point of like, most people don't really, they've heard of the Panama Canal, they haven't been there, they don't know what it is. So we're just gonna say like, we want the Panama Canal back. And like it was this rallying cry, and it got people's attention.
Like back for America?
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, because we love to just say, "Oh, but it feels like it's mine," and so like
we shouldn't be there.
No, but yeah, and so that was a big thing that propelled Reagan out of just like a Hollywood star to as he was getting people's attention, like rallying behind, like, we need to take back the Panama Canal, and then I was also born under Reagan in Panama, and but none of that was my responsibility. No one asked to be born. No one asked for this.
No one asked for it, especially under Reagan.
And, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I just wanted to say it.
No, I'm not kidding. Fuck Reagan. It's fine.
I like how you asserted it. It's fine. We're upright. We're fancy. Fuck Reagan. Fuck
Reagan. And guess who isn't? Ronald Reagan.
And didn't you mean
Exactly.
Not the sideways one.
I mean, of course the sideways one.
Of
I mean,
course
this
the
okay.
sideways
So
one.
we're in Chris's home.
We are in our home.
And
My home.
this is our home.
Yeah, our home.
Our home. I live here now. I have always said that if reincarnation is a thing, I want to come back as one of Toby and Chris's pets.
We do have the best pets.
You do, and you also treat them very well.
We treat them well. They're literal people, children.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a child who is 3.
She has an actual child.
But I mean, who let that happen? But
whose fault is this? It wasn't mine.
It wasn't him. I tried.
She's amazing. Clover's amazing. She's amazing. I gave her name. Is that okay? Okay.
It's fine.
Just making sure.
Yeah, that's
okay.
and so what was I even saying? I don't know. But essentially, there are these lips here at Chris's home, and I like to put them like this.
Put them in inappropriate places, which is where they belong.
Inappropriate to some, appropriate to others.
True.
True. And you have to entertain yourself because this is a dismal world.
It is a dismal world, and we can play with lip pillows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, you were saying something about you were born in Reagan in Panama. In Reagan.
I was born in
Reagan. Not born in Reagan.
I just came out of his skull like Greek myth style. It just like came out with a hammer.
It happens.
Does it?
No.
Probably.
Does it?
I don't know. I mean, Nancy Reagan was into some occult shit. She could have summoned me from Reagan's skull, and I wouldn't even know.
She was into occult shit?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
How so? Do tell.
She hired astrologers to advise the president on all of these things. Mm-hmm.
Like Miss Cleo?
Yes,
oh,
Miss Cleo.
No, she was a psychic.
Call me now.
She was a psychic. Or Dionne Warwick was a psychic as well. Those are not what we're talking about.
I mean, there was a resident White House astrologer that,
I did not know this.
Yes, and as Reagan was, decompensating, she was having, because he had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, okay. I was like,
eating jelly beans, confused.
That's a great word, though. Decompensating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
another good word.
I've got some of them.
Like the placenta word you said earlier.
Placenta?
No, placenta. What was the word you used earlier?
Panacea?
Yes. Okay, it's placenta-ish. Come on, it's placenta-ish.
I mean, the placenta is very important.
Panacea.
I still have one in my freezer. I need to get out.
Make a smoothie.
No, I was gonna plant it with a tree.
Okay.
But it's been a few years now, and it's just a freezer-burned placenta in my freezer.
Welcome to the stage, Chris Burke and the freezer-burned placenta. I feel like that should be my band name.
I feel like we could do better for you.
Okay. I don't know if that's true or not, but go ahead.
So
that's all. That's so interesting. I did not know that you were born in Panama.
Or that I had a placenta in my freezer.
Or that you had a freezer-burned placenta in your freezer. I did not know this.
Yep.
Interesting.
And yes, I just feel like I'll have fun facts with P words.
Yeah.
What would you like to share with a P word?
With P word? I don't know. I don't know that I can think of.
So I'll bring my placenta next time to show you guys. I know you.
We can make cupcakes or whatever out of it, or something. I don't know. You're not going to eat it. I mean, are you would normally, right?
Some people do eat their placenta. Some people they like to encapsulate it. They freeze dry it and encapsulate it and consume it. However, my daughter felt stress when she was trying to come into this world and pooped on herself. And so there is poop mixed in with the placenta. So it is no longer potable placenta. Potable placenta. That's your name. Welcome to the stage, potable placenta.
So, again, this is just something that I just do not understand. As the baby came out of you, she pooped. Mm-hmm. As she was coming out of you.
Well, as she was in the process of coming. So
I don't know that I knew that.
So there's something called meconium. Well, that's the thing is that when babies are growing in your body, they kind of keep all the poop in, and that's called meconium. And then sometimes when babies are under duress, when they are being born, they just suddenly shit themselves.
Okay.
And then there is meconium present. Check. And meconium coming up.
I don't know what's happening. It's another word I don't know.
Well, not a lot of people know that word because it's it's just fetal poop. Not on the SAT. We don't value women's experience.
We definitely do not enough.
Don't.
Lord
oh my
above,
God, what?
There should be entire huge, like volumes, Encyclopedia Britannicas about women's experience that men can learn something, because y'all have a completely different experience in life than we do. Completely different.
And we bring life into this world, and everyone's like, boring.
No, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
WTH. WTAH. What the actual hell?
You're going to say hell?
I know, I just want to say that.
He's being sweet.
I
He's
just
sweeter
like the
than I am.
WTAH is funny to me.
Yeah.
Like, not WTAF, WTAF. Okay, so anyway, your placenta, so
anyway, your placenta.
It is freezer burnt.
Okay, yes.
But so what's the plan with it, that it's frozen?
I was just going to put it under a root ball of a tree that I planted.
Cool.
Just to be like, this is your tree.
This is your tree. And if perhaps
the placenta feeds the baby during the placenta is a very vital part of the fetal development, and so it's like the fact that it would like then go and like feed a tree. A lot of people do this, and some people just eat their placenta. And I think even if mine was potable, I don't know if I really would have the wherewithal and resources to consume it. But I don't judge it. It seems fine. But
to each their own.
Placenta.
There, but for the grace of God, go on. Is what my mom would always say. My mom always said, like, if we'd see something, she'd be like, there, but for the grace of God, go I. But, I mean, it's not like mom is overly religious or whatever, anything like that. She has her own spirituality and her own relationship with God, but
she's got perspective.
She does have her own perspective. So it's funny to me because the story that this brings up to me, talking about infant baby poop, because it's not like they're out there eating nacho cheese Doritos and then pooping. Like they've only their poop is different than our poop, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's because it is whatever that the mother is eating filtered down to them, and then it's kind of this black stuff.
Because it's just stuff. Yeah. So Toby
doesn't really have a smell, actually.
Yeah. So my only experience with this. And I don't have much.
Okay.
So I do not have much.
Lay it on me.
But let's see, Toby and I had been dating a few years, and our friend Chandonay, whom you know.
I do know,
because did you work with her at Southern Bread?
I did work with her.
DC, shout out Chandonay. She had just had her baby. She was working at Bosco's. She had just had her baby, and I mean like 2 weeks after the baby was born.
She prided herself in like being in labor while working.
Yes.
And then working immediately after.
Her water broke.
Why would you pride yourself on that?
Her water broke during a shift. Like it literally broke during a shift.
America.
But so like 2 weeks.
Who wants to marry me and take me to another country?
Panama. Panama.
It's too hot. Less hot country than Panama.
Less hot than Panama.
You can contact us, uprightandfancy@gmail.com.
uprightandfancy@gmail.com. Anything you ever want to send us or say, unless you're a solicitor, or questions you want to ask, uprightandfancy.com. No, at gmail.com. Okay, so Chandonay.
2
weeks after she had her baby, somewhere around there, maybe like even a week and a half, she had an emergency of some sort, a family thing, a thing where she just had to go and it was no question, and it was only for like 8 hours or something like that, but you know better than I do that the baby is still like 2 weeks into it, a week and a half into it, you can like not doing anything on their own at all, nothing.
No.
So I, of course, would be like, hail to the gnaw, because I don't know what I'm doing with that. I mean, like I barely knew what to do with my nieces and nephews when they were young, but Toby has vast experience taking care of babies and special needs babies.
Toby is his partner.
My partner.
20 years now?
Almost. 18 and a half years.
90,000 years in gay years.
In gay years, we're like freaking 155,000 years old. But he has vast experience taking care of special needs children, infants, like babies, and then special needs adults as well. But he has a lot of experience with that. So she called him to see if we'd come over and take care of baby Hallian for the day. And we did. And I remember, and we did subsequently after that too, as he was growing up. He's like freaking 20 years old now and whatever, because this was early on in our relationship too. But like he went to change baby Hallian's diaper. And I mean, he was a nugget. Like he was a little bitty shriveled up creature and so cute and whatever, but I'm just not used to having such a precious commodity, you know?
It's
like,
terrifying.
Like you are actually in charge of whether they live, you know, like, which I know I'm preaching to the choir here, of course, but
no, but
I never had that experience before.
It is deeply humbling and terrifying.
I would imagine it's, especially day to day, it's terrifying. And the fact that you can kind of get used to it and not be like, all of a sudden you're like, something happens and you're like, oh shit, I'm not paying enough attention or something like that. That would be terrifying, I'm sure. But anyway, so we're changing little Hallian's diaper and he poops as we're changing it, but it's like green foam.
Yeah.
With substance. Green, substantial foam.
Yeah.
And I was
the miracle of life.
I did not know what to expect. And that was definitely, had you listed 100 things, what to expect when a baby, when an infant
like
poops.
Changing a Teenage Mutant into Turtles diaper. Totally. You would say green foam. That's probably
I was changing like. Donatello, you know, he was a baby. Michelangelo.
Be a mess.
Raphael be a mess. He be shitty, you know, he be shitty.
Oh my god. I feel like we do have to get back to talking about things, but I just really want to say that when my friend was working at a summer camp for people with autism, there was this person who made the most amazing drawings, and one of them was Dipsy needs a diaper change badly, and it was a Teletubby Dipsy with a very, very like challenging look, and it said Dipsy needs a diaper change badly. Dipsy was a Teletubby.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know about Teletubbies.
Well,
is it the awkward purple one?
No, that's Tinky Winky.
Oh, okay. Was he gay?
Yes.
Okay.
He had a purse.
I thought he was
People
homosexual.
were very mad.
I'm sure.
But yeah, it was the different Teletubbies, and they were all flipping people off, being very upset. And but my favorite was Dipsy needs a diaper change badly. And sometimes still, when I'm just like feeling really hateful about something, I'm just like, Dipsy needs a diaper change badly. Just in my head.
The fact that his name is Dipsy and you know it is amazing too.
Well, when I was in high school, the Teletubbies first came into the scene, and I was the perfect age to be a weird teenager, getting a little bit high and watching the Teletubbies with friends.
Wow.
And it was really special to my development. So I was...
How old were you?
Like 16, 17, something like
Okay.
that.
Because I think I'm 10 years older than you, I think.
Maybe.
I think so. I think around there probably is what I would say, if not more. So when you were 16, because Teletubbies was not, even as a high, you know, I don't think I may have gotten high my 16, 17, maybe once or twice, but I was mostly a good boy until I was not anymore. But Teletubbies missed me somehow, even in that way.
Well, the Teletubbies are still here for you. You can always come back to them. They've apparently been, they've been judged for Netflix.
Okay. Judged.
They also, for some reason...
Heard.
They also, for some reason, I was very disturbed by this, is that in the newer iterations of Teletubbies, they have babies that apparently are the product of Teletubby sex. No. Yes.
That'd be hard to explain from your parents. Like, well, where'd the little Teletubby come from?
And also...
Well, the one Teletubby's got a penis.
But also there's only one straight one, maybe? So, I mean, these Teletubbies got some splaining to do.
They got some splaining, or they don't.
Or they don't.
Yeah. Because them Teletubbies like, fuck y'all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we is who we is. I'm a Teletubby. What?
So... I feel like this has really gone off the rails in an exciting way.
The first 30 minutes of Upright and Fancy has completely gone off the rails in such a lovely way. This is exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah, so I hope everyone is on the edge of their seat and like, where can I see more of this? And I am. Yeah, this is so good. So we're kind of thinking this podcast is going to be like something that it's a gift. It's a gift to you guys.
It's a gift. It's a gift to us as well.
Yeah.
It's a gift to me.
Mm-hmm. It's a gift to me.
It's a gift to us.
Where we're just going to do things that are fun, and we are going to give some advice that is in no way it's no way backed up by any kind of like credentials, legal, like it's all, this is all for fun. This is an entertainment podcast.
We are here to entertain. Do not take any of our advice. Yeah. Are you not entertained? Do not take any advice and go somewhere and ask about it being for real, because we don't know what we're talking about.
But at the same time, we're grown ass people. We grown, we sexy.
We sexy, we upright, we fancy. We grown, we sexy, we upright, we fancy.
Okay, well maybe
that should be the song.
It's pretty good.
I like the song.
Yeah.
I like the
song. See, this is synergy.
Yes.
This is exactly why I came here tonight. And so we're kind of envisioning that the first part of the podcast, we're just going to talk about Reagan and placenta. No, we're gonna just say, hey, how are you? What's going on in your world? And we're just gonna talk for a minute.
As we have now spoken and talked randomly for 35 minutes. Yeah.
And you're welcome. And then we were just gonna like do a little fun thing where we like reach into a fishbowl or a hat that Chris used to wear at Six Flags.
So we have a bunch of topics here. And if you put that on, you're going to get a black spot because it's an ancient hat.
It's fine with
me. So this is a fishbowl of interesting topics. You're good. There's no black splotches. Interesting topics and or conversation starters and or favorite things and or if we were, excuse me, I just fully burped. If we were on a first date, maybe the first question we would ask and things like that. I know. And it would have nothing to do with your glittery lips.
If you just, I'm up here, Chris.
Yeah, right. So we have a story about the container and the container. So this is a jar. What would you call this?
Vase?
A vase.
It's a bit of a candy dish.
It's a little bit of a candy dish. So we went up to help.
A sugar dish.
It's your sugar dish.
This is a sugar dish.
I felt like that was your sugar dish. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it truly is.
I mean, this is my sugar baklava. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to say baklava. I don't know why.
It's sticky.
It is sticky. It's so sticky. It's so sticky.
You should talk to a doctor.
You need to talk to a specialist up in there. Okay, so this vase, we helped his grandmother, his lovely, Toby's amazing, lovely 95-year-old grandmother, move out of her house and into an assisted living, and we went and helped go through her stuff and helped, and it was
and all you got was this lousy sugar dish.
And all I got was this lousy sugar dish. No, we got a bunch of amazing things, but this is one of them. We would never have such a lovely sugar dish. Thank you to Joe.
Yeah, Joe. we were originally thinking like a fishbowl, but neither of us had a fishbowl. But we did have a sugar dish, and we do also have this hat that when Chris was an entertainer at Six Flags.
Six Flags over Georgia.
He had a white one and a black one, good guy and a bad guy. He can do both, ladies.
I'm all things above. Oh, it's just nasty though.
It is
Look
really
at the
nasty.
inside. It's nasty. That's sweat.
This was Georgia in the summertime.
This was Georgia in the summertime in 1999. I did the country show in 99. I did a show where there was country music in it in 2000, and then 2001 I did country show as well. Again, 2001, maybe even 2002 as well. Full on country shows with this hat. It is disgusting. They also, a funny story about that, they had to special, so we went to get outfits from Six Flags. We went to get outfits from the Cowboy Warehouse
Emporium?
or whatever. Yeah, it was it was where other people ordered all their cowboy stuff from. So my head was so big. is, asterisk, so big that they had to special order the hat out of the warehouse.
Wow.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
it was too big for the warehouse. They had to special order it from somewhere else.
I think you
That's
should
how-
take that as a compliment.
I mean, there's a lot of brain going on there. Mm-hmm. And
Do you want to put half in here and half in there, and then we'll pick from each?
Sure.
There we go.
Sure. And these are fun, random topics that I'm sure that nobody asked for, but we're going to sit here and talk about, and I think that you're going to enjoy it.
And so we'll ask each other these questions, and then we'll go to the next time of that.
The next bit.
The next bit. And you're welcome. And you want to go first?
Sure. Do you want to pick from mine and I'll pick from yours?
Oh, okay. I like this. Feeling some tingling.
Okay. We just talked about this out there. Does Michael Jackson still make you uncomfortable? Still, right now, make you uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it's really just a miasma of
Another amazing word!
of factors. Because it's like, obviously, the little boy stuff, very
Obviously.
strange.
Awful.
Very
and strange and awful.
But also, like, his whole childhood, all of the, all of the terrible plastic surgery
Facial
incidents and the whitening.
Incidents.
The whitening, very uncomfortable. Just because, Michael Jackson, I wanted Michael Jackson to just, to just feel proud of himself, but instead he seemed to want to be a bit of a white child who lived at a zoo, which is a choice. And
yeah.
in America, you can be anything you want to be, and if you work that hard, sure. But I feel like Michael Jackson, some undeniable talent. But yes, I feel like his whole vibe was very uncomfortable for a very long time.
For a really long time.
Yeah.
So I have a different perspective
Dangling
on that because
a baby out the window.
Yeah, I just saw that clip. So I perform a couple Michael Jackson songs in my shows.
Which ones?
I do Jackson 5, When I Had You to Myself, I Didn't Want You Around, which somehow,
That's a good one,
baby,
yeah.
give me one more chance. Somehow when he's in Jackson 5, it's different because he was still a kid, and so like no one ever comments on that. Yeah. But I also do, and I used to mention his name, and I used to talk about him specifically. But I also do, "Hey Pretty Baby with the High Heels On," which I love. The way you make me feel. Yeah, I love that song.
I can't sing, by the way.
I think
sings.
she can sing. But like, I performed that song on the Pride of America in Hawaii one time. Was like, had my little CDs I sell and all that kind of stuff, and I was talking to people as they were coming out, which is one of my favorite things about cruising, because I just like people's reactions and stuff are so fun. But this woman came up to me, and it was right after the HBO special had come out about him.
Yes.
Like about the last one, about the bad stuff.
Controversy in that HBO special.
And this woman was like, "You should be careful. I wouldn't sing any more of his songs.
What?
I don't think you should do that anymore." And I was like, "Well, thank you for your input." So I love the songs, and I love to sing them, and I feel like they're a good time, and I feel like the audience appreciates them, especially the Jackson 5 song. But I have... Excuse me.
You're so girthy.
I know. I have... Whenever I do perform his stuff now, I won't mention his name.
Really?
I will keep it. I will just be like, so this next song and the album we're on heavy rotation in my house. Y'all enjoy this song. It's called "The Way You Make Me Feel." No, I won't mention his name anymore because I'm like, I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable.
You're Voldemorting him?
I'm Voldemorting him a little bit, but I think you can Voldemort him and still appreciate his music. You know?
I mean it's a complicated tapestry, and I think that we all can appreciate aspects of Michael Jackson and also see him as a victim in a lot of ways.
Many ways.
Yes.
Because you can kind of see the progression of...
Yeah, Joe Jackson is the real villain of this story. Obviously, everyone was responsible. Things that aren't your fault are still your responsibility. It's important to...
And also, it's nobody's responsibility. It's nobody's fault except for Michael's and maybe Joe's. Like it's certainly not the victims. It's certainly not anybody else like that.
That's not what I was saying. I was like, those boys were too sexy. Their skirts were too short.
Had they not wanted to be ogle, they wouldn't have worn what they wore to Never, 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 Neverland. This is, I agree.
They would have never, ever, ever, ever worn that to Never, ever land.
Ever, unless they wanted, no, all of that, of course, is...
We're just funnin'.
We're upright dancing.
But no, I mean, I feel like Michael Jackson complicated cannot be underestimated as far as his importance in the musical landscape.
Of course.
But also problematic.
Also problematic.
And yeah, but I feel like it is a very long list of people who fall into that category. So yes, I would not...
Problematique. Yeah, a new fragrance by Miss Jackson.
That's gonna be my fragrance.
Is it? Yeah.
Problematique. By Kara. Okay. Ooh, misunderstood lyrics. Okay, so we were just talking about how
these are both of these are from us just talking about. So no, there. Clearly, I have like 7,000 other ones in here, but we chose ones that just happened, and I love it.
I think that this really fits in so well with what we were just talking about with our childhood crushes. Whereas I was talking about how when I was a little kid, my childhood crush was David Bowie in Labyrinth, which
is yes,
the wig, the codpiece, the glitter. I was like, yes, please. And not many other people were.
I'll have seconds, please.
That were, not many other little children were like, why are the other men like that? But I was a weird one. And you were saying, not you. You were like Tony Danza.
Oh my God, yes. I was a different child, but yes.
And so, Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
Yes.
There will always be a Hold Me Closer, Tony Danza.
Always.
And I really love that mental image.
Yeah.
And I would let Tony Danza hold me closer if you're out there. Tony Danza, I think he's like 70.
Yeah, he's still kicking it.
He's still kicking.
Yeah,
he's
still got them lips, though. You know,
yeah.
That's part of his appeal. Was them big Italian lips.
He's a zaddy.
He's a zaddy. But when he was young, it was like, come on now.
Who's the boss?
Who is the boss? I would like to know.
I think he would be the boss.
So he would 100%. Especially back in the day, I'd been like, go ahead, dude. You the boss. Okay, so I have.
You let him call you Angela.
Yes, or whatever. Samantha. No, I wouldn't want him to call me Samantha because that's the daughter's name. That's weird. You
went to a dark place.
What was it? What was the brother's name? I know his real name is Jeremy something because he came out as gay. His real name was like Jeremy, whatever. But the anyway, he can call me little brother name. So yes, I did not, oddly, although Labyrinth, we have this in common. Labyrinth is maybe my most watched favorite movie of all time. And like, only because I watched it when I was young. Like, I don't have anything else that I watched like I watched that. Along with other movies too. This may or may not be a question in here, so we'll save that for another time. But
stay tuned.
I didn't find him attractive at all.
He's weird looking as fuck. But,
like, especially the way he was, and he had like his
teeth were all...
And he had a package. Like, he had a little basket going on.
Oh, yes. It was very out there. And as a kid, I didn't clock that.
I clocked it.
Well, I mean...
As a gay kid, I freaking clocked it. I was like, oh, is there somebody attached to that thing poking out of his pants?
I mean, I was just like, well, that's an interesting bulge. But I had no context. Of course. You know,
yeah. Yeah. And I can see how the attraction, had that not been the focal point, the attraction could be there because he was eccentric and dark, and he had like dark eyes, and he's like True Blood. Do you ever see True Blood?
Yes.
You know, Alexander Skarsgård or whatever. He's kind of like him, where he's like blonde but dark at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, he was this magical other, and very unlike anything that I had ever seen before.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
And like, as far as like, I don't know, I got daddy issues, and so like, as far as like masculinity goes, like traditional masculinity wasn't totally my thing, and so it was like this weird, like somehow this like strange, this strange Goblin King person was it just for some reason I was like, now that I could work with.
Yeah.
And I remember, I think I was probably in the minority of children that was like, well,
found him attractive.
That baby is is just fine, but maybe you could just go live with all the cool puppets and
Yeah.
that guy.
Oh no,
That
I definitely thought that as well.
because like your dad and stepmom seem pretty dumb.
So one of the main takeaways that I had from that movie growing up was that I wanted to be best friends with Jennifer Connelly. She reminded me of my best friend / girlfriend when I was young. Nothing ever happened. Like, she was just my girlfriend. Well, I remember us sitting in the dark with our lips like this because neither of us knew what to do. So we were like,
Yeah.
but she was my favorite person for a long time, and my girlfriend for a long time, named Jenny Gill, and she reminded me of her because she was kind of artsy and she was an actress. Jenny still is an actress up in New York City, but you know, she was Anne Frank and their thing of Anne, you know what I mean, like, and she was my age at the time, so that was always like, oh my god. So she was my girlfriend, and I remember thinking, I don't want to sleep with Jennifer Connelly, but I want her to be my best friend. I want to hang out with her. She had the prettiest hair.
Yeah.
You know, like, she just like a Pantene commercial walking around. But
I really wish that, of course, as a child, I had not seen this yet, but I really do wish that I could go back and, like, what is it, like Eternal Summer of the Spotless Mind or some kind of...
Jim Carrey.
Where you can take out a memory.
Totally.
I sort of wish I could remove the memory from Requiem for a Dream.
I never saw it.
For a Dream.
I never saw it. I don't know if I can see it, though. It's about drug use and stuff, isn't it?
Sure is. And also, there is a scene that I will never forget of Jennifer Connelly when she's not at her highest self.
The character.
The character. And they're in, like, I think what I remember is like a wrestling ring where people are chanting ass to ass, ass to ass, and there's just you can put the pieces together, gentle listener, and so every time I see Jennifer Connelly, this is what I think about.
Pops up. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah,
but at the same time, like,
you can see that's unfortunate.
I think wonderful movie. It's a great movie. It just is. It burns into your brain.
Yeah, and certain things, like, depending on when you saw them too, could burn in your brain. Like, if you're at a certain age,
I think I was
never
in
leave.
high school.
Yeah, things like that never leave.
And and it has never left me. And I just feel like if she had stayed with the Goblin King, well, maybe maybe that would have just been like the goblin saying ass to ass, and it would have, but you never know. You never know. You only miss the shots you don't take. Isn't that what they say?
Yeah, no, it's true.
Anyway, what were your misunderstood lyrics?
Misunderstood lyrics. That's right. I was just thinking. Okay, so all of
I'm gonna have to rein this in. What
all
time
of the
is it?
labyrinth.
Oh my god, it's like almost an hour.
So we have 10 more minutes, people. So
guys, we're gonna get
just
to
hang
all
on.
of your burning questions in these 10 minutes.
So misunderstood lyrics. The one that always sticks out to me that he can't deal with, because I'm like, yeah, I'm not, like, I'm a singer, and I can learn lyrics, and I can do whatever, but I never, the way we listen to music is so different, and of course this is going to take us on a whole different tangent, but the way we listen to music is drastically different. I hear, if we were to listen to the same song, first time, and we've done it a million times, he understands every lyric, he hears everything. He understands what the lyrics mean, where they're coming from. I hear the intonation, the melody, the sound, how it makes me feel, and I don't hear a damn lyric at all. If I hear a lyric, it's few and far between. So this line bothers the crap. So I never really knew lyrics back in the day. So in CNC Music Factory, gonna make you sweat, baby, let the music take control. So the real lyrics are, let the rhythm move you. So that freaked me out. If you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So let the rhythm move you is weird to me, because there's the syllables are there's an extra syllable on a one syllable word. Move you, like that was weird to me. So in my head, and I still sing it this way, it's Lesperina Moobadoo, and he and I mean it is like the #1 song of the 90s. You know what I mean? Like it's the song of the 90s, and I love the singer. I love what the hell's her name?
I can't remember.
Two tons of fun. She's a gay icon. Anyway, Toby's going to kill me for that. Anyway, but she had a huge lawsuit because they used her voice and not her face and all this stuff, and she won, which means that everybody gets paid for their shit now. Had she not won that, anyway, she's amazing. I can't believe I can't remember her name. Good friends with RuPaul. But anyway, he wants to beat me up whenever I say, let's burn a moobadoo. But that's just what I said. When I was young, that's what I said.
Yeah. I think that's your right and privilege.
It's
and
my
I think
right and privilege.
I think it's a beautiful thing. And also, you got to have a little fun with it. I also do a terrible job at hearing lyrics the first time.
I just don't. Mm-mm. I mean, that's what I do for a living, and I don't hear it.
I don't do it for a living, and I still can't.
Good.
I mean,
that misery loves company in this way, I guess.
I've always been someone who is like deeply identified as like a music person, and yet I have I can listen to a song 50,000 times and still have half the lyrics wrong.
Me too.
But I've made up my own lyrics, and they're meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes they're espadooba-dooba. What did you say?
Lesperinamoobadoo. Like that's just how it is. That's just what the lyrics are. I don't know how I could spell that.
It sounds like I don't know, like chatter in like a Star Wars bar.
Yeah. Oh my God, it does. Oh my God, it does. Well, maybe I was reincarnated from my previous life as a Star Wars bar patron. And instead of like Norm, it was Chris, or it was Lesper. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, maybe they clicked. Okay.
It's okay.
So as we are wrapping up, because clearly we have talked about nothing this entire time, and it's been amazing.
This is going to be a problem.
But it's going to be a
beautiful problem.
A beautiful problem. So our outline of what we're going to do in this Upright and Fancy is fishbowl / cowboy hat from 1999. 14-year-old cowboy hat that is gross. If you saw it close up, it's gross. It's because I sweated in it every day for...
In the Georgia summertime.
4 shows a day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week.
4 shows a day, 6 days a week.
6 days a week, half-an-hour shows, but still.
I mean, still. That is...
Yeah, no, that's why it's disgusting. It's a different color than what it's supposed to be. But, okay, so we have our fishbowl. We're going to have an advice column. If you have any questions, if you have anything that you wonder about in your life and your family.
After hearing us talk about all this stuff, you're probably thinking, gosh, what can they teach me?
Yes.
And the thing is like, we've got great news. We're here. We're here. Open line.
We're here.
Open line.
And we are here for you.
And so, anything. It can be a silly question. It can be a serious question.
Yeah.
It can be
We're serious.
It can be a sexual question.
It can be whatever the heck you want to. We do not believe in TMI. There is nothing that is the T in the MI. TM in the I. Anyway, there's nothing that's too much, is what I'm saying. We will talk about anything. We will answer any question.
Yeah, and we don't have safe words. We were just discussing that.
Yeah, all right. Our safe word is
harder. Just kidding. Just kidding. And so we are So we were kind of thinking about this as sort of a thing where we would have a lot of fun. We would talk to each other, and then we would give some advice because we both are people that people come to for advice for whatever reason. We also love to talk and give our opinions to people.
Clearly.
And
especially
we both,
each other. Yeah, today.
And we are, I feel like we have we are grown. We have lived lives. We are humble individuals that are not coming from any place of like, we are perfect and you should do as we say. Yeah. We're just, this is a human experiment, all of life.
It's a human experiment from two completely vastly different humans, which is what I think is the most interesting part.
Yeah, and so
I respect and am intrigued by where you come from, which makes this interesting. Yes, I am.
This likewise, and also you are a certified life coach. So there is that. So he actually does have some credentials.
But once again, do not take our advice for Bible.
Course. No. Well, they will. They will.
I mean, I know you will.
When Yeah, when I tell you to, to kill your neighbor and live in in a new identity in their home,
Yeah.
you just have to take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
I mean, know that, we're just having a little fun
These
here.
are ideas from Lifetime movies. These are not real things. Come on.
But
But
they
they're
were
real
inspired
things.
by real events.
Yes, but we're there.
I feel like we would love to touch your lives in this way.
Yeah.
We would love to hear from you.
Yes.
So if you would like to record a voice memo, if you would like to just type a little question,
Yes.
uprightandfancy@gmail.com.
uprightandfancy@gmail.com.
And we will in future episodes, we won't spend so much time talking about
Gabbing. Well, I can't promise
panaceas,
that.
placentas. No, we
I
probably
can't
will.
promise that. Yeah. These are new words that are intriguing to me, and
But-
I'm going to find out what the hell they mean.
But we are trying really hard to keep this to an hour.
Yes.
And that's, we're already there essentially.
Almost there.
And we've been gotten right to the halfway point of our outline.
Yes. So
And-
fishbowl advice. We also have. She has 3 incredible boxes of tarot cards over here, all completely different that we can discuss at some point because they're amazing.
Yeah, I figured we could bring those into the advice section sometimes.
Yes.
We also have
like Nancy Reagan, apparently.
Oh yeah, exactly.
These are things that we
much
found
like
out.
our first lady, Nancy
Yeah.
Reagan. We're just here to elevate her legacy. It's not true. Shots fired.
Yeah, shots
Nancy
fired.
Reagan.
No,
really, fuck her. But we just thought we would come to the advice in different ways.
Yes.
Some that
Yes.
and we it's gonna be fun. And so please have fun with us. Send
Yes.
us questions.
Yes.
And then
uprightandfancy@gmail.com. We can't say it enough. Yes.
we are upright and fancy and doing our best.
Yes.
And and so we don't really have any today because we're at our limit.
Yeah.
But I feel like I did get a question from a friend that was pretty excellent. Which is there's a serious question, but then I also let's see. How do I politely express to my friend that I don't want to hear about her talk about her diet ever again? And then it might be unfun for other people to hear about it as well.
You mean like not only do I not want to hear about it, but nobody motherfucking else wants to hear about it either.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
You always hear about vegans and CrossFit. People that are vegans and people that are CrossFit. First thing that they let you know is that they're vegan and they CrossFit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I think that this is difficult, especially as a woman who, if you're not watching the video, what are you doing with your life? But I'm a woman. I'm a woman of size, and so many people love to just.
I'm curvy. We're curvy. We're curvy.
We are beautiful, voluptuous women from
Yes.
Alabama.
Yes.
And people love to tell you about their diet for lots of reasons, and some of them are they're trying to inspire their people. Sometimes they're just trying to have something interesting to say.
Inspiration.
And
I think it's the word of Jesus or whatever. Where they're trying to inspire
exactly people are doing
live by example or whatever.
It's gross. It's
gross.
It's gross. If you do this to people, it's gross. I'm sorry. Even if you mean well, everyone has heard of diets.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. You don't have to tell people. If people are interested, they will ask.
Yeah.
But it is this weird thing where, especially around this time of year, I think it is topical as we're starting a new year. Everyone wants to talk about, they want to body shame themselves. Totally. They want to talk about how bad they were. Oh my God, I'm so bad.
Oh my God, I had 3 truffles.
And I'm there are really bad people in this world.
Yeah.
There are people keeping children in basements.
Also,
you had some cake.
Yeah. Also, you're the only one that this is affecting.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it and enjoy it, or don't do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And keep it to yourself. And so it is very hard, and especially, if you've lost some weight or something, and people want to talk to you about it, and get really excited about it, and it's very hard to just be like, this is not my jam. This is not what I want to talk about.
So on the devil's advocate side of that, I am an outward processor. Mm-hmm. And so if I'm doing something, if I'm feeling something, if it's on the top of my brain,
Mm-hmm.
I do have a tendency to talk about it.
Sure.
And I will talk, I'll after, and I'll realize it with him, because after the third or fourth time, either he calls me out or I call myself out about it. But I am an outward processor, and if you're excited about something, it's tough to keep it in.
Yes.
But I think there's a time limit.
And I also think that there is speaking of time limits, I know we're up against one.
Yes.
But there's also this whole thing about people. One of the things that I think is so insidious about diets is that it can just consume your whole worldview, because you're because we are animals, and if you're walking around hungry, if you're walking around thinking about
everything else is off kilter. Yeah.
Exactly. You're whatever intermittent fasting shit. You're it is top of mind to you, and this is what you want to talk about.
It's hard not to talk about it.
Yeah, and it's also it is the thing that you are doing in that moment, and you are making an effort, and you are trying, and you want to talk about it, or also you're just fucking hungry and you want to talk about it.
Yeah. Or give me some fries.
Or you're just does anyone have a recipe that doesn't suck?
Yeah.
Or I remember working at this fancy nonprofit, and there was a time in life where every single room I would walk in, someone was talking about the Whole30. And someone was in the middle of the fucking Whole30. And I was just there are so many interesting things to talk about. I just feel like diets make people self-obsessed.
They do.
And they also make people feel that I don't know, that everyone is just a monolith, that the same things will work for, and it's absolutely not true.
It's
and it's very reductive.
Not true. It's absolutely not true.
And so you're getting into a lot of things when you're maybe very innocently bringing up diet stuff.
Yes.
And so I have really, I guess my best advice with this is just to say, I understand that you're very excited, but this isn't what I want to talk about right now. And if people keep coming back to it, try to walk away from the conversation as respectfully as you can.
I think my advice would be similar in that walking away, me personally, it would be a walk away from the conversation. But it would be a consistent walk away from the conversation with regard to letting them know that everybody else thinks it sucks that you're talking about your fucking 30 whatever, or your keto or whatever it is. I would have a hard time saying, everybody else thinks this sucks too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I have a hard time with that part of it.
And the thing is, not everybody else does. A lot of people would absolutely.
It's true.
One of the easiest ways to have a bestseller.
Totally. That and a self-help book. Oh my god! Like people love to know that, but I think people love to know it in a bigger sense, but they don't necessarily love to know it in a one-on-one.
Well,
you know what I mean? I think that you can read a self-help book and still not want to talk about what's inside my self-help book when I'm in a group of people.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe.
And I feel just in general, people's bodies, people should have a choice about whether their bodies are talked about or not.
Agreed.
And growing up, I often didn't get that choice, I would just I would see my German grandmother, and she would be like, April Tracy, you're so beautiful. And then she'd be like, Kara, you're so smart. And she would try to she would count my sister's ribs and be like, I can't count yours. They're covered in fat. And it was Grandma. And it was but it was she was also, she was a woman of size as well. And so it was so strange. It's just being okay, so this is just something that is part of what is just relating to another human to you, but it is making me feel powerless and sad
and wrecked.
And
yeah.
wrecked, yeah. And
I really think that a lot of that is generational too, where people at a certain time, 50 years ago, 40 years ago, whatever, I feel like it was different talking to kids. It was different talking to people. You could say things that hurt, and it was okay back then. People didn't think it hurt. You know what I mean?
Well,
or something. I don't know. I feel like part of that's a generational thing. Not to excuse her for any of that.
No. It's fine. It's fine in that I am an adult now, and but
yeah, but that sucks.
Sure. But there are a lot of things that suck to being a chubby redhead in Alabama,
in Huntsville,
with a shitty family. But at the same time, I have this wonderful personality now, guys. But also at the same time, I mean, there's so much more body positivity now. You know, I'm very glad that Lizzo is no longer canceled because, I mean, come on, how many people are there out there that are like playing a flute, dancing, singing while fat? Yeah. And just doing the damn thing better than anybody else.
Well, and also dancing and like being a boss up on stage.
And like the flute takes breath control.
Yes, I think it's proof that healthy doesn't
looks
have a look.
Different. Yes.
Yeah, healthy. There's no distinctive, because there are a lot of people that look healthy.
Yes.
That are definitely not.
Not at all.
That are near death. You know. And I love that for her, and I love that for you, and I love that for anybody that can feel that understanding. It's like representation. It's like, you know, it's it's a deep, you know, it goes to that.
And like I saw Beyonce this year, I saw Janelle Monáe this year. Both of them had a lot of dancers of different sizes, and like it was fantastic. And it's so important that people are saying it's not just like the people who can do the job are not just the skinniest people who are traditionally fit, that like people who can be very in shape while still having a big ass booty. And that is this is one of my favorite developments about Mine too. About our modern world. But so in general, I think that it's like, I don't know, it's just important to love yourself enough to pull away from conversations that are making you uncomfortable.
Whatever they are.
And if people are talking about your body in ways that make you uncomfortable, say, I don't want to talk about my body right now.
Yeah.
And, but in general, it's just very hard because it is the water we swim in. So it's like diet culture is the water we swim in. So it's very hard to like...
Health culture, but mostly visual health culture is the water we swim in.
Yeah, and so it's tough. And so I feel like it's something where we do have, especially like having a daughter, I try very hard not to talk badly about my physical appearance, like looking in the mirror and like
especially to yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, like when I'm looking in the mirror and she's in the bathroom with me, and even if I'm just like, ooh, you know, because sometimes it doesn't matter.
I mean, like, everybody feels that.
Yeah, sometimes you wake up like this, and sometimes you wake up like this. And it's like, you know.
Sometimes you're Picasso.
Yeah,
and sometimes you're the Mona Lisa. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, sometimes you're Art Nouveau, and sometimes you're Art
Art
but I try, like, when I'm looking in the mirror and she's with me, you know, I'm not just like, oh, I'm just like, oh, you know, I try to be as neutral as possible if I can't be positive. Yeah. And that's all very important modeling. I do really care about that. But also at the same time, like, one of my favorite, I just bought a new sticker that says, I don't care about your diet. And
well, look at that. The question was apropos. You know, that was good.
And you can't like put that on your forehead, but you can just kind of put it on your water bottle and be like,
Yeah, and, like you want to eat racists. You know?
Yeah, but that's also a sticker on
your water bottle. Yeah.
And in case I don't have it in here, but just so you know, my water bottle has an "Eat Racist" sticker on it. It's an alligator that's "Eat Racist," but when you turn it, it just says "racist."
It has the ass end of an alligator over there.
So none of us are perfect or leading perfect lives, and that's really what
really what it is.
That's
Grace,
what this whole podcast is all about.
It is, and we need to wrap up because we've got a doggy. He has his thing on. He has his thing on.
We have a dog in an outfit. We have the dog in the outfit. Look at this.
This is the way we have to end this podcast here today.
Charlie.
This is Sir Charles Underfoot III. He just turned 15. And he has the sweetest little thing on because he gets cold and he gets shivery.
It's cold. And, it's winter time for a winter Charles.
Mwah! Anyway, so y'all, this is our podcast, Upright and Fancy, and what we're going to do the whole time, clearly, is talk and discuss. And whether it's advice, whether it's random fishbowl / Six Flags cowboy hat topics, we have things to talk about. And I know that you can relate to it, and I know it's things that everybody. I wish we could have everybody involved in talking all at the same time with us. And
now
we
a
have
cat's
so much
coming
to
in.
do.
See, you wished for everyone being involved.
I did.
And here comes this pussy.
I did.
Oh, hello. Look at that.
Mwah.
Yeah. And so we are here for you. We are here for fun, and we are very excited about this. So please listen.
Mwah.
This is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning.
And thank you for
tuning in.
For listening this.
I don't know what the hell we talked about, but it was Nancy Reagan. It was something that sounded like placenta.
Panacea.
Panacea.
The Panama Canal.
It was the Panama Canal. It was the Panacea Canal.
Panacea Canal? That's what I'm going to get. That's my name. Wait, what's your drag name again?
Oh, my drag name is Epiphany Chanteuse.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go. Either in or out, kid. Okay. Epiphany Chanteuse and the Panama Panacea. Panacea.
Panama Panacea.
No.
No, there was something.
The Panacea Canal.
Pussy Panacea.
Pussy Panacea. Sounds like an Austin Powers villain. Or like a Beyonce character, right?
Yeah. This is Panacea, Pussy Panacea, and
Epiphany Chanteuse.
And Epiphany Chanteuse saying cheers. We
Signing
love
off.
you.
We love you.
Thank you so much. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Stay upright. Stay fancy. Cheers. Mwah.
We love you.
Mwah.
And we love you even when you're uptight and angry. But we especially love you when you're upright and fancy. And we're proud of you.
With us. Come be upright and fancy with us. We're proud of you.
Who knows how much longer the world is going to be the world as we know it.
It's a fiery burning garbage pit. Not garage.
It could be in the garage. We don't know. And but we're, you know what? Let's just ride this out together, guys.
Yes.
We're here for you.
Cheers, y'all. See you next time.